Well, everyone wants to have the yard and garden. That's the envy of the neighborhood, especially as we are now into the month of spring. And our friend Perry from Classic Landscapes drops by every month with some great tips and tricks. And we're changing it up a little bit today. We're seeing a little bit of everything. So how about we start, Perry, with indoor plants?
Yeah, so it's pretty common for people to start seeds indoors. Obviously, this time of year especially, we're trying to get out in the spring, and while we're getting a little bit of rain and enjoying the warmer temperatures, we're not quite there yet and be able to plant seeds outside. And so one of the advantages of planting seeds indoors, obviously, is that we can harvest stuff quicker. And so things like tomatoes especially, there's some other plants. Obviously, root vegetables like carrots and maybe beets, we're gonna plant in our garden because we're not gonna be doing in small pots here. Radishes are another one that's a good one to get started outside as well, because you can actually harvest radishes in like 3 weeks. And so they're pretty quick turnaround, so you don't have to sort of rush to that. But again, tomatoes, you can see I brought some selections here. Some good choices to get started indoors. Obviously, like I mentioned, tomatoes are a big one. Roma and beefsteak tomatoes are two very popular ones. There's lots of varieties out there. People can do well with tomatoes. It's important that you fertilize and have like a calcium-based fertilizer. Tomatoes need a lot of calcium to grow. Roma tomatoes are great because they actually have less water content. Because they have less water content, they taste sweeter. And so that's what makes them very popular.
I'm also seeing zucchini, which you don't see often.
Yeah, zucchini's a great one out of the garden. It's kind of like carrots. I don't know about you, but garden carrots are just the best,
they're the best.
And so zucchini's a really good one to grow, easy to take care of, obviously. There are some issues sometimes with gardens, and we'll get to soil in a second, but pests. And so what I've got here is some companion plants, we call them. Nasturtiums, just over in front of you, as well as some marigolds. And nasturtiums will actually attract aphids. And so they'll keep them off of the gardening sort of vegetables and things, and they'll attract them to nasturtiums. And marigolds, aphids don't like them, mosquitoes don't like them. So by planting them around our garden, we'll actually, repel mosquitoes, so make it nicer to weed if we have to get out there and weed. Also something, marigolds you can use around your deck or kind of common areas because, again, mosquitoes will keep away. We can enjoy our summers. Yeah, so you can crack that on.
Ta-da!
And so using indoor grow lights is a really great way to sort of speed up the process. Obviously, we don't all have bright light windows that we can put them beside. This is full spectrum lighting. It's not just a fluorescent light, even though it looks that. So full wavelength of growing. It will, again, speed it up. It keeps the humidity around the plants.
Nice.
Fertilization is important, but not as much at this stage. More about just watering them daily and make sure they get a good amount of, in this case, fake sunshine. But you throw them in the tanning bed there, and it'll help them grow.
You prep them.
That's exactly right.
Okay, now we have some outdoor items, I guess, and this is a big one. So once the snow starts to melt, if people have pets, they notice those spots. Yeah,
so kind of that ever-going thing where we're trying to improve our yard. This is actually a fertilizer you can use 3 times a year. Use it in the spring, middle, summer, fall, and actually help reduce the damage that your dogs will cause in your backyard. If you have female dogs, they're the worst in terms of the areas, and so you'll get some burn spots. And so I have a couple female dogs, so I know what it's like. Obviously, it's a great way to go about. So fertilization, sometimes we can top dress and seed with like a peat moss mix, which is like something I've got here. And but having a nice fertilization program is going to help the grass come back quicker. And it will kind of restore, because we want to be able to enjoy it for the summer as well. And that sort of touches base on the most important part of all of this. When we talk about growing plants, everybody focuses on sunlight, and again, important. But the most important thing is the soil we planted in. And so this style, peat moss bale, is actually a peat moss based product, so it improves the workability of the soil. It's a little bit lighter, so seeds get a better start. But this is actually supercharged in that it's got perlite added. It's got leonardite, which is a mineral naturally occurring soil, which helps the plant actually take up nutrition. So I can fertilize plants all I want, but if they can't actually take up the nutrition, then that fertilizer is going to go to waste. And so again, improving the soil to improve the plants goes a long way. And by having supercharged things like this and working them into our soil, or if you have upraised garden beds above the ground, you can just fill it with this stuff and know that you're going to be having a beautiful garden that summer. Well,
we love all these tips and tricks. Thank you so much, Perry. I always learn so much from you, and I know our viewers do as well. So for more great ideas, check out Classic Landscapes at Classic Gardens at their 2 locations. And for more information, visit them online at classicgardens.ca.